If you really love her, you'll pay for all of us. That's what my fiancé's best friend said across the dinner table. Eyes smug, tone daring me to say no. They expected me to foot an $800 bill just to prove my worth. But what they didn't know was that I had a plan to show them exactly what I was worth, and it didn't cost me a single cent. If you've ever been tested, humiliated, or underestimated by people who think they're above you, hit that subscribe button. Because today's story isn't just about money, it's about respect. And what happens when people cross a line they never should have. I'll start by saying this. I'm not a rich guy, but I make a comfortable living. I'm a software engineer, decent salary, nothing flashy. I work hard, I save, and I believe in living within my means. My fiancée Chloe and I had been together for almost 3 years. She's beautiful, smart, and kind. But there was always one thing that made me uneasy: her friends. They were the influencer type. Always dressed like they were going to brunch with Kardashians. Always posting. Always competing. Always sizing everyone up. From day one, they made it clear I wasn't one of them. No designer watch, no sports car, no Instagram perfect lifestyle. They'd make comments like, "Oh, you're still renting?" or "He doesn't even have a Rolex." And Chloe would just laugh it off. I didn't want to make her choose between me and her friends, so I ignored it. But that night, they pushed me too far. It was a Friday. Chloe told me her friends wanted to celebrate our engagement. She said they booked a nice restaurant downtown. I was happy to go. I thought it'd be a chance to finally get along. We arrive, and it's one of those places where a glass of water cost $15. 8 of us total, me, Chloe, and her 6 friends. They ordered bottles of wine, lobster, steak, and dessert like it was a royal banquet. I kept it simple. 1 entree, no drink. Then came the bill. The waiter dropped the leather folder on the table, and all eyes turned to me. Tasha, Chloe's self-proclaimed bestie, smirked and said, "Well, big man, time to prove your worth." I blinked. "Excuse me?" She laughed. "Come on, you're marrying our girl. Show us you can take care of her. Cover dinner for the table." I thought she was joking. Until Chloe said nothing. She didn't even look at me, just stared at her nails. The waiter cleared his throat. The bill was $812.47. My heart sank, not because I couldn't pay it, I could, but because of the disrespect. This wasn't about dinner. This was about testing me, like I was some auditioning servant. I forced a smile. "You're kidding, right?" Tasha tilted her head. "If you can't handle a little dinner bill, how are you going to handle taking care of Chloe?" Something snapped inside me. My ears rang, my pulse quickened, and I felt this strange calm, the kind that comes right before a storm. I said, "Sure, I'll take care of it." The girls cheered, clinking their glasses. Chloe smiled, but not at me, at them, like she'd just won a prize. But I wasn't paying that bill. Oh no. I had a better idea. While they laughed and took selfies, I excused myself to the restroom. Instead, I went straight to the front desk and found the manager. I explained what was happening, that a group of people had stuck me with a bill I didn't agree to. He nodded, said it happens more than I'd think, and told me each guest had to pay for their own items unless I authorized the charge. Perfect. So I told him, "Separate my tab. I'll pay only for what I ordered." He smiled and said, "No problem." I handed over my card, paid $38.50, and walked back to the table. The girls were still laughing, sipping wine. Then the waiter returned with 6 separate bills. Tasha's face fell. "What's this?" she demanded. The waiter said, "Sir requested individual checks. Everyone's responsible for their own meals." You could hear a pin drop. Chloe's face went pale. Tasha hissed, "You said you'd take care of it." I looked her dead in the eye and said, "I did. I took care of my part." The table erupted. They called me cheap, petty, unmanly. Every insult you could imagine. Chloe whispered, "You're embarrassing me." I stood up, put on my jacket, and said, "No, Chloe, you embarrassed yourself." Then I walked out. That night, my phone blew up. Chloe texted me paragraphs. "How could you do that? They're my friends. You made me look bad." I didn't reply. The next day, she came over. Her eyes were red, her tone soft. She said, "They're just protective of me. You overreacted." I asked, "Did you think it was okay for them to humiliate me like that?" She hesitated. "They just wanted to see if you could handle being with me." That was it. That's when I realized she didn't want a partner. She wanted a provider, someone to show off, not build a life with. I quietly took off the engagement ring from her finger and said, "If that's what you want, Chloe, go find someone who enjoys being tested." She cried, begged me to reconsider. But I was done. Later that week, I found out she tried to spin the story to make me the bad guy, but it backfired. Her friends posted about cheap men online, and the internet turned on them fast. People roasted them, saying, "If you can't pay for your own meal, maybe you're the one who's not worth it." The irony was delicious. A few months later, I ran into Tasha at a cafe. She looked shocked to see me. She said Chloe had broken off contact with everyone after the embarrassment. I smiled and said, "Guess some people finally got the bill they deserved." Then I walked away, lighter than I'd felt in years. Revenge doesn't always need grand gestures. Sometimes the most powerful revenge is quiet dignity, refusing to play their game. They wanted to see if I was worthy. Turns out I was, just not for her. And in a way, they did me a favor. They showed me who really valued me, and who only saw a walking wallet. If you've ever been tested or disrespected by someone who mistook kindness for weakness, drop a comment below. Would you have paid that bill or walked out like I did? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story, because sometimes the best revenge isn't payback. It's walking away with your pride intact.